Welcome to Easy Talk with Zeus.
And Zino.
This is a podcast of two normal guys who talk about everything and anything, including sports, entertainment, and a heavy dose of politics. Although today I wouldn't say it's a heavy dose of politics, would you, Zino? I think it's a normal amount of politics.
Normal amount, which seems to be a trend lately. Last week we didn't do any last time around we didn't do any politics because obviously DMX passed away and we focused our show on him. But
that
this
was
time
more important.
Yeah. This time it's a little more politics than last time, but not as much as we thought we would have. So yeah.
All right, man. Before I go deep into the agenda, man, real quickly, how you been, bro?
I've been good, man. We luckily don't have too many like terrible things happening in the news to talk about, as much as we may have thought. On a personal note, I'm doing okay. I've seen a couple of movies recently, including Mortal Kombat, which I think are we gonna talk about that? Maybe.
You know what? I was actually going to try to watch it at work to have a reaction. So last night I actually went on HBO and I was like, let me pop in Mortal Kombat, but I still had the kids with me. They were still awake. And I was like, I don't know if this is a good movie for me to watch with the kid. You know, not 4-year-olds, maybe like 8, 9-year-olds I could, but like a 4-year-old, I was like, nah, I'm gonna hold off. So instead, I saw that The Hobbit. I never have seen the Hobbit movie because the first two were just like vast disappointments compared to the original Lord of the Rings. So I popped that in, and by the way, that still had some scary imagery in there. So it's just crazy how even that was a little bit of scary imagery. But no, I haven't seen the Mortal Kombat, but I do want to see Mortal Kombat. I don't think I'm gonna get a chance to see King Kong before it comes out because I think it's about to get out of. I think it's tomorrow.
Oh,
so
wow!
Today today is 4/29. So tomorrow 4/30, I think is the last day. I might try to sneak it in tomorrow during the day.
So it'll still be on there tomorrow, but then after tomorrow it's gone.
Yeah, but then isn't it an HBO movie? So it's gonna go back onto HBO.
Well, yeah, eventually, but it'll be like
silly that they're doing that,
Yeah. Well, this is like their theatrical release, So okay, then I guess I gotta watch Kong versus Godzilla tomorrow, or Godzilla versus Kong, whoever gets first billing. But I actually a fun thing I wanted to note is that a lot of people don't realize that the 95 Mortal Kombat or 96, whatever year that came out, was actually not R-rated. So because Mortal Kombat is the original M rating video game, right?
Yeah.
But the movie wasn't R-rated. It was a PG-13 movie. This one is R-rated and it really leans into it. So I'm glad you didn't watch it in front of your kids.
Yeah. It's so crazy that it was like so much controversy for the violence. And I just saw a clip, a video where they showed like the what was the word? The evolution of Scorpion and his fatalities. And I was like, there was real controversy over this. Like, this is so silly.
Well, you have to understand.
Back
then it was the only thing doing that. Now we're so desensitized to it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Especially because, like, if you go back, like, Married with Children doesn't seem all that controversial because you have freaking South Park, an animated cartoon, just saying worse stuff.
Yeah.
When we were kids. So yeah, then that makes perfect sense. But yeah, hey, real quickly, I want to ask you. So I actually got my first COVID shot a couple weeks ago. Have you done the COVID shot yet?
Yeah, I got the Johnson & Johnson, so it's only one shot.
How are your blood clots?
So I went to my ENT for an unrelated issue. Right? I've been having sinus issues, and I told him, well, I got my COVID shot. It was the Johnson & Johnson, and I'm still alive. And he was like, well, you're not a woman in her 40s, so you should be fine. So slight.
You should have said, don't you assume my gender, ma'am. Or sir.
Well, then I would have assumed his gender by calling him ma'am.
That's true. So, but that's good. That's good. I'm glad you didn't get a blood clot and your what's it called? You didn't get a blood clot. That's good.
Well, for our listeners who may not know what we're talking about because they live under a rock, apparently of the 6 million people that got the Johnson & Johnson shots, over 6 million people, there were 6 people who developed a blood clot condition. I think one of them died.
Yeah.
So 6 out of 6 million, and all 6 of them were women, 40 or older, right? So I'm not downplaying it. I'm not saying that, there's nothing to worry about. but when you look at the metrics, it's like, come on.
And it's kind of a little bit reactionary because one of my friends, she posted, she was like, you know that there's more people that get blood clots on birth control than COVID, but we're not getting rid of birth control. We're just trying to fix it, right? Like, so it's kind of reactionary, but you know what? Whatever. I don't like, first of all, I am the biggest wuss when it comes, which is so funny because I'm the biggest wuss when it comes to getting a needle. And I donated blood for like I donated like plasma for like a good 6 months when I was broke. So it's like, I'm over here, like I told the lady.
I keep hearing about that people get paid for donating plasma. Because I donated plasma all the time and I never got paid. I got like pretzels. But is it like something that you just asked? No.
It's like these are actually places that just got up, like gotten like a lot of different like plasma. Because the thing is that you gotta realize the turnaround for them on the plasma, man, they're making bank because they make prescription drugs, medicines. They make it with plasma. Like so they actually make a ton load of money from it, and they're giving people like $50.
Okay, because I was doing it for like the American Red Cross. And just like donating.
American Red Cross does not give anything for free, so that would make sense. Yeah. No, this is like private companies, and they're over there like, you're saving the world, and I was like, no, I'm not. I'm broke, and I need $50 real fast, so I'm donating my plasma. But anyways, so I'm over here with the needle, and then I tell her, I was like, hey, I don't know if you know this, but I'm really like, I hate the poke. Once it's in, I'm good, but that poke, I hate it. And she was like, no. She was like, she had an accent. She's like, no, trust me, I could tell. So she knew off the bat. She basically knew off the bat, you look like a wuss. But you
look like a wuss. That's funny.
But it was all good. It was all good, man. And another thing that I think both you and I have in common is we actually been on our brother show, brother podcast, sister podcast, I guess, sister channel, whatever it's called, with the guys from the radio show. So for me, so I definitely love for you guys to check it out. What ended up happening is I was actually going to help one M16, who many of y'all might know, host or interview somebody. Something happened where I guess something happened, signals got crossed or something. That gentleman couldn't make it. Don't want to assume that he just didn't do it. So me and 16 were actually having a conversation while we were waiting, and he was like, "Yo, this guy's not coming." And then I was like, yeah. So then we just kept talking. And then he was like, you know what? He's not coming. I'm just going to press record. We ended up recording an episode. It was a pretty good minutes. I hate, because doesn't it always happen even with us? I think our better conversation happened before the recording. Because me and you do that a lot where we're doing pre-recording or post-recording, and we're like, we should be recording this conversation. Yes. But it was a really fun interview, man. It was just, we got to dive into the whole, me and you podcast journey. And it's always great talking to those guys, man. M16 is just like one of the good dude. And honestly, look, I would love for people to go check out that show. I told him this on his show, and you'll hear me singing it. I honestly think M16 is a great interviewer. He's a great podcast host. You love his passion that he has on podcasting. And I really, really hope that guy blows up when it comes to podcasting. I really do. Like, I'm hoping, he becomes like, well, not Joe Rogan, because Joe Rogan's troublesome sometimes, but somebody who
a Joe Rogan type.
A Joe Rogan type, minus the controversy. But yeah, so I did that, and then I think this week or last week you did something similar, no?
Yeah, so to stay on M16 for a bit, not to downplay our love for this or our passion for this, but he's passionate about podcasting, and I think in the times to come, I know you're saying that you hope he blows up. I know he will. I know he's got a good handle on this stuff. So I was happy to also collaborate with him this week on Tuesday. So this is for the Bring a Friend episode. So they invited me to co-host with them. It was M16, Easy, and Kuja. And we talked about a whole range of things, including the Academy Awards. We talked about the draft that's coming up, Mortal Kombat, just a whole range of stuff. And it's just, guys chatting it up, and we just happened to hit the record button. So you guys should check that out. We'll put the link to both Zeus's episode and my episode in the comments. And we might even do one of those nice YouTube thingy where you can actually just click it in front of your screen right now. Click it there.
Yeah, and right there.
Right there, where it's pointing.
Yeah. So you talk about the Oscars. You guys talked about the Oscars. That's a good segue into our today's conversation. So our top 5 is going to be Oscar related. Top 5. I think you have a little bit more than I do, just because even though I'm the one that came up with this top 5, but you already have your 5 list. I have some, but I might come up with some. I'm sure I'll fill out 5 in total.
Yeah.
That's going to lead into our, just me and you, our reaction. We have a few conversations that we want to talk about when it comes to the Academy Awards. So that's going to be the recap of that, our reaction to that. And then we're also going to talk about, so this episode, honestly, if things had turned out differently, this episode would have been probably a lot earlier, because I'm pretty sure me and you would have been very, very
animated,
eager to talk. It would have been a lot earlier, and it probably would have been a lot angrier, but it is a reaction to, and Zino wanted to make sure that I say the name right, because apparently I was saying it wrong. Chauvin.
Yes.
The Chauvin case reaction. I was saying Siobhan. So just a reaction to the outcome of that case. Obviously, because I said it, our reaction would have been a lot angrier, I'm sure, if it had been the other way. The guilty verdicts came back. We still have sentencing to talk to that is going to happen, but we want to do a quick reaction because some stuff happened. Some stuff happened after that that we kind of want to pinpoint. So it's not going to exactly. It's still not happy-go-lucky, but there's at least one win there, right?
Yeah.
And then to stick with, even though that's not politics, I don't call that politics. I call that, that's news. That's news. That's
some people want to politicize it, but it's just news.
Yeah, like people getting killed is not a political thing.
Yeah.
And then, but to go into politics, the State of the Union address just recently happened. So me and Zeno both did not watch it, but we want to talk about our response to a certain someone's response to the State of the Union, because we thought we were done with this guy, but this guy is he's like a cockroach. He just won't go away. And then after that, we're going to end it today. Probably in the next 20 minutes from our recording, a draft's about to happen. So we're gonna have a much quicker reaction than what we usually do on a lot of things, right? Because we're gonna be reacting to it as it happens. So we'll see what happens, especially with our Falcons. We're gonna find out what happens. So that's gonna be our quick show. Zeno, anything else you gotta add before we kick it off?
Yeah, I was gonna say, since the draft is happening like live, even though we might be talking about the Oscars or whatever at any given point, like when the Jaguars pick comes in, I'll be like, oh, the Jaguars pick is in, they pick Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, I'm assuming that's who they're gonna pick. But so I'll be doing that. Maybe for the top 10 if we're still recording by the time 10 happens. But yes, and then we will have our live reaction to the Falcons pick specifically, because that's what we've been waiting for all the time. But yeah, man.
If there's a Falcons pick at 4.
Ooh, yeah.
But, controversy.
But that's the show. Good wrap up of the agenda. So lead us.
All right.